hold. Ba-da-ba-da. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Jedi Academy here on the Multiverse of Geekdom. I am Jedi Master Tuck. That is that guy over there, Padawan Frito. We are going to talk some news, just news in general, really, from Star Wars. A couple things came up. Nothing
the news
really.
and stars.
Yeah, it's kind of a slow time right now in Star Wars, but we're going to talk about a couple things. So, dude, how you feeling tonight, man? Feeling pretty good?
Tonight I'm feeling good. Just got home from work, getting some food in me, but I'm excited. The Star Wars world, like you said, has been a bit slow. I think we're waiting for a lot of key things to come out. Visions just came out, and that was a really great fucking season.
Yep.
So, I'm just really curious on what's to come in the Star Wars world.
Well, one thing that is not coming in the Star Wars world anytime soon is Mandalorian Season 4. It has officially been put on hold because of the writer's strike. They were scheduled to start September, it looks like. Yeah, September start date. And now because of this stoppage, we are not going to get Season 4. So this is the big thing we're going to talk about tonight. Got a couple other little things, but
why?
How do we feel about this, man? We're not going to get Season 4 now for 2 years, maybe.
Why must they do this to us?
I don't know. And I don't know.
Like, I get it, the writer's strike. I 100% understand what they're doing.
Right.
But, god damn, now it's just going to kill whatever momentum they have behind the franchise.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I guarantee you people are still going to want to know what's to come. People are still going to want to know. But you're just going to lose, that many more people who are just waiting on the edge of their seats for this.
Yeah, look, I will say this. I'm 100% behind the writers. I have no problem with them getting, negotiating their deal, getting better, benefits, money, all that stuff. I agree with that. This just sucks as a fan. It just does. It sucks as a fan of Star Wars and a fan of Mandalorian. So, I get it. It's not, it's not what I want to happen. But, now they're saying that this could go into next year, the strike. So, there might be a lot of things put on hold, dude. This might push back a lot of things, which opens up the topic in general. Do we even see anything now going forward for the next couple of years, man? Like,
we'll have what was in the pipelines already, but I think we're going to hit a point in probably the next year or two if this continues on till next year. Especially,
well, here's my question though: if you have a season 1 of a show to put out, do you put it out with the writer's strike going on? Because you can't get a season 2 even if it's good. At least not right now.
This is true.
You know what I mean? So is it worth it to put it out?
I think it still would be.
Right.
It's just going to take some time. I think with everything going on, it's probably it might actually be the best thing to drop a fire season of something and then let it ride out. But to have something like this that is already pre-established and people are just waiting for season 4.
Yeah.
We already have an idea of a premise of what's going to be happening. And to just put that on hold, people are going to gain interest in a lot of other things. We're going to have, now this begs to the question, Ahsoka season 2. Like, we know season 1's coming out in August.
Right.
What about Ahsoka season 2?
Yep. No, you're absolutely right about that. I can't.
There's so many questions that this leaves open, and it's really upsetting.
Well, here's also a thing. So, hold on a second, because I'm pretty sure that at some point Favreau said that he already wrote season 4. So why is it being pushed back then?
He could have already written the rough draft of everything.
Sure. Okay.
You know what I mean? And now it's like the polishing, the
Yeah.
dialogues, making it all nice, crisp, concise.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I thought I saw that somewhere. Okay. Yeah. Again,
No, and I guarantee you
it
he
just
does
sucks.
have
It's
it.
just coming at this time. Yeah.
I guarantee you he does have it written up, but it's just not like script ready.
Right. No, it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah, again, I feel like, man, this is such a big loss right now, especially for Star Wars, and this is one of the shows that really is kept Star Wars going recently, and
Yep.
people actually do like. So, um, this could be bigger than we think. Honestly, I mean, this could be really big for Star
It
Wars
just can be
overall.
detrimental to the um not the franchise but the series.
Yeah, yeah. No, it definitely
I think a
could.
lot of these strikes right now, like again, completely for it, completely understand why they're doing it, but it's
Right.
just as a fan, you can see where the disconnect is going to pick up from this.
And here's the other thing: this last season wasn't the strongest season. I mean, I love
Um,
it. I think it's a great season, but a lot of fans and a lot of it wasn't watched as much as the other two seasons. Um, yeah, it's kind of down in a lot of those type of categories on the streaming service. So on Disney Plus. So
I think just fans are really upset with Star Wars right now.
mm, yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Look at it, man. Yeah, it's just
Which is
when
upsetting because
go ahead.
well, I'm just saying it's upsetting because to be honest, they're pumping out some decent content. Like it's
Hmm.
not all A1, but Visions, Mandalorian, The Promise of Ahsoka, the Bad Batch. Well, never mind. I'm not going to count the Bad Batch. Bad Batch sucked. But like, there's just even Boba Fett. I think it didn't get the credit it deserved. People were upset by it, but it was still not bad.
Yeah, I mean I liked it more than most people.
I just think people are really criticizing what they're doing on like how they have to set up the world, but it's like just give them the chance because what they're putting, because I feel like a lot of what the franchise is putting out, people already have in their mind that it's going to be shit before it even they see it.
Hmm.
So I think people having that preconceived notion is putting a real hindrance on it for the people, especially the people that aren't huge fans.
Yeah. No, I mean I definitely see what you're saying there for sure. That definitely makes sense. Um, yeah, I just feel like this is going to really hurt. Possibly the show, if not definitely Star Wars in general. I think it could definitely hurt them overall. But we'll
Without a
see.
doubt.
I mean, huh?
I said without a doubt, and it's just you know, people want to see Grogu, and that's going to be the biggest thing.
Yep. Yep. I see an animated short coming in our future.
Probably something.
Then, yeah.
They'll get a
All
way
right.
around.
This is what I'm actually super sad about. Okay. So do you know what the Galactic Star Cruiser is?
No.
All right, so it's this hotel at Disney that you can stay at that is an all inclusive. You stay for 2 nights,
Wait,
but
why
it's
is
like
it closing?
so it's closing permanently because it's $2,000 per person for a 2 night experience. Now it's all immersive. Like everybody on the ship, like while you're in the hotel, like acts like they're in Star Wars. It looks like you're on a starship, like in space the whole time. And you like these are the rooms, like you look like it looks like you're in Star Wars the whole time. It's completely 100% immersive, but it was 2 grand per person.
A night.
Well, for the weekend, it was a 2 night experience. It's like a whole storyline you go through over the 2 days.
That's the only reason why it's closing.
nobody went. And a lot of the things didn't live up to what they said it would. Like there was supposed to be this lightsaber training room that was supposed to be like you were supposed to feel like you were like holding a lightsaber and training with one, and people said it's completely falls short. The storyline that you go through throughout the week is kind of weak. There's a lot of flaws with it overall that people have complained about. Like the things are very cheaply made. It feels very cheap when you're there. Like it's just not. It's what you would expect for $2,000.
Yeah,
You know, basically
for
$1,000 a night.
2,000 person.
Yeah, and like you don't get anything to cut that comes like you don't get like a suit or anything that comes with it or a lightsaber or like anything special. You just stay there and go through this storyline while you're there. But it's permanently closing, dude. And I really wanted to go to this place. I've seen some videos and I've seen some pretty bad reviews on it, but I still wanted to do this so bad
I
because
saw like the coming attractions for it, and it looked super dope. But
it looks
to
really
hear
fun.
that it's already closing, like when did it open?
Like a year and a half ago, maybe 15 months. Yeah, only 15 months after it first opened.
It will be booking its final guest from September 28th to September 30th.
Yep, that's the last weekend or last 2 nights of the thing.
Well, I mean, you still have hope, bro.
Yeah,
There's still
right,
hope,
no,
man.
I'm not going there. There's no way, dude. I can't. I would love to, though. Believe me, dude. I would fucking love to. It would be amazing to go there.
I mean, that is super upsetting.
It is super upsetting only because I do think it was a really cool idea. Um, I actually have an idea for something that I think would be even cooler, but it's not something I would talk about on here yet. I might tell you
Shit.
afterwards, after the show, if you remind me and I don't forget.
$1 idea right here.
Anyway, so yeah, that's a sucky one too. I mean, there's not really much to talk about for that, but I just think it's a sucky thing.
Well, no, that's
or that is
I
happening.
think it's just truly like a missed opportunity for them.
Yeah,
because if they could have done it right, and maybe didn't make it promise it to be as immersive as it was as they did, maybe that would have helped. And obviously, the price was astronomical.
Yeah, I think that was more what it was. Is once it got out like that, everything was kind of cheaply made, and it wasn't as what they expected it to be. The $2,000 just seemed too much for people, I think, and that's when the bookings tanked. So, I don't know. Like I said, it just sucks because it's something I was super interested in.
Could you imagine if we actually got to stay there for a weekend,
dude? If you ever got to go there and we fucking GoPro'd the whole thing, because you can bring your phone in there and fucking record.
Oh, dude,
that was the other thing about it was that people were pissed because people were basically spoiling it for everybody because they were basically streaming the whole weekend there, so people already knew what was going to happen before they even got to go.
Don't watch.
No, I agree with you, but I mean,
like that's the thing too. Is like, don't if you don't want to know, don't look it up.
I get it, but you know how people are. They're fucking curious, and they're going to go and watch them, and then they're going to get mad about it. So, I don't know what to do, dude. They cry. People cry.
People are always crying.
Yep. All right. So here's a fun one because this is obviously probably not going to happen, but so Ming-Na Wen, who is Fennec Shan from Boba Fett, apparently said that they're. So I went through this, and basically what she's saying is that if they did season 2, this is what she would want: a lot of fun battle scenes, and more in potential season 2 Book of Boba Fett. So basically, she's just saying that she would want more action and more grittiness and more of what Boba Fett was, and then adding some of the other stuff into it. And obviously, one of my favorite characters right here, Mr. What was his name again?
Favorite character. Come on.
Oh, shit. He's my favorite character. So he's one of my favorite characters. Cobb Vanth. He's great. So I would have liked to seen him come back. He was in the back of tank at the end of Boba Fett,
Yeah, he didn't die,
recovering
right?
from. No, he didn't die. He was in the back of tank at the very end. Yeah. So I would like to see this show come back. I thought this was more of her like like basically saying something she shouldn't have said, kind of thing on accident. On purpose on
And then
accident.
it's just like, oh no,
Right.
this is what I would love to happen.
Right, but it's not. It's actually just her saying like this is what I would want to happen if it did happen. So it's not her actually announcing season 2. So um but still, I mean this is definitely what I would want if they did a season 2. I think she's correct on what she's saying here, which is um she basically said here I can go to it. So she says, I'd like to see what they do with their, he's this lord of Tatooine and he is managing to have some control, but he was trying to do it in one way, and I'm not sure how effective it was. He was trying to have a greater honor system, and I would love to see that he turns back a bit more like what Boba Fett was, and also being able to maintain justice or accomplish what he needs to accomplish on Tatooine, and then ultimately just to have a lot more fun battle scenes. So going back to basically what Boba Fett was before this, and then having some really cool battle scenes, which exactly. I mean, that's what I would want at least. I want
I
old
think
Boba Fett back. I want old Boba Fett back. That's what I want.
continue.
What? No, I'm just saying this is exactly what I would want. I would love to see like the gritty, more gritty, like I don't give a shit Boba Fett back. Just disintegrating people, going crazy. What the hell happened to you?
I truly think that if they did this direction with Boba Fett, the fans would be way more on their side again.
Yeah.
Because this is exactly what we want from Boba Fett. We want the grittiness. Like I've said before, we needed a Godfather-esque kind of mafia style Boba Fett.
Dude, what if the opening scene of season 2 is there's some dude that crossed him and he walks up on the Rancor and just is like, all right, eat him. The Rancor just picks him up and eats him. And then that's when we start season 2 at. Like, Boba Fett's just like, yeah, no, you're not going to push me around anymore.
It's like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm done.
Like, I think you can still balance what we got and what Boba Fett really is. Like, I think you can find more of a balance of the two. I don't think he needs to be
Without a doubt, I
completely
don't
like
think there's a reason why we don't get the badass Boba Fett. We get a badass Mandalorian.
right.
Just give us a badass Boba Fett.
Well,
Like,
and that's the theory because the Mandalorian was supposed to be Boba Fett. So people
I get
think
it.
that Kathleen Kennedy made them dumb down Boba Fett because of that. Because the Mandalorian is now like the tough Mandalorian, and Boba Fett is not supposed to be that anymore. So,
But I think we can still get to it. We can still get that same kind of a feeling of a show.
I
Like,
agree. I agree with you. No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that's what people say is that's why
yeah,
Boba Fett
100%.
is dumbed down. So,
And I mean, it is. It's very more digestible for people. It's I wouldn't not a better story for the fans, but a better story for the public.
Yeah.
But to be true to his character, he's a fucking ruthless bounty hunter.
Yeah. I mean, he just is.
Like, it's just he is an assassin. He's a killer. Like, give me that.
Mm-hmm.
Give me someone who's finally paid his dues enough, and you know what? He finally wants to sit at the top of the fucking throne and give orders.
Or show me like flashbacks and why he doesn't want to be like that anymore.
Other than him just dancing with the
Right.
fucking...
Like show me some messed up stuff he did where he's like, yeah, I should have never did that. Like that was too much. You know what I mean? Like where even he's like, I shouldn't have did that. And he's battling with that. But to just randomly be like, oh, now all of a sudden he's good. It's like he would not. First of all, he would be out for if he survived the Sarlacc pit, he would be out for vengeance against Han and Luke. He would absolutely be out for vengeance.
Oh, yeah.
Immediately,
Without
like,
a
it
doubt.
wouldn't even be a question. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just I hope they do a season two. I don't think we'll get a season two, but I hope they do a season two because, dude, look, I mean, that's just a cool shot right there. Them two
I
together
mean,
is
them
so
two
cool.
together honestly have amazing chemistry.
Yeah. Oh no, they're great together. I agree. So, yeah, I
And I love her character. And even if they don't do a season two, I need more of her character.
oh for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Like get her into the Mandalorian fold or some shit like that.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. No, definitely. I think that's here's a quick one we can just kind of comment on. So we're getting the Disney Gallery making of Mandalorian season three. I always like watching these behind the scenes. I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
if you do. Okay, so that's something I'm definitely interested in watching. It comes out June 28th, so
Okay.
almost
So
end of
we'll get
next month.
that within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, we can talk about that when it comes out for sure. I always like watching those and seeing some of the behind the scenes stuff and how they did things. So I am down for that.
Without a doubt. I'm just trying to see what else that other one said. No, that's nothing.
So here's the last one I want to talk about, and I think this is actually very interesting. So apparently, Filoni and Favreau were talking about Ahmad Best, who played Jar Jar in the prequels and came back as the Jedi who saved Grogu in season three of Mandalorian.
Oh shit.
And yep, so they said we love Ahmad, and he did such a great job. It was real thrill for us to get him involved. We talked with him about it. We came up with these ideas and we think who might work with it. We make sure before we get too far to bring them into the process. So it's not just like, here's who you're going to play. It's like, what do you think of this? We want you to be this person. What are your thoughts on it? We try to make the real collaboration and think the really success of it. And they said, Filoni said, I didn't know how much he knew about martial arts, and then he picks up a lightsaber and he's suddenly swinging it all around. That's awesome. And you're like, oh, okay. Favreau said he studies art. Arnis, oh, that's the two sticks. He knows how to do dual wielding.
Oh
They're
shit.
talking about how he comes back though, or how they were talking about him coming back.
Wanting to learn more about that character.
Yeah. So basically, they were talking about they want to bring him back, which that's really the part I want to talk about. So I think he got such a bad rap. I mean, if you know the story about him at all, he was almost to the point of killing himself. He was seriously considering killing himself because of the hate and the absolute like insaneness the character the fans criticized him for playing Jar Jar.
Which I still don't understand.
I don't understand it either. So to see him come back and absolutely nail this Jedi character that he gets to play, and he's the one that actually saves Grogu. I think
Oh
that's
yeah.
such a great return for him as an actor to this franchise, and I do want to see more of him. I want to see what happens after he got him off of Coruscant. So yeah, I hope they bring him back, and I hope we get to see him at least one more time, maybe two more times. I think that's fair. I think he should get his fair due. What do you think about this overall?
I definitely think we'll see him again. Whether or not we see him, I think I'm trying to see if we're going to get him at flashback roles
Right.
or if we're going to get him interacting with Grogu later on in life.
Okay. Um, I think it's going to be more of because the last thing we see is him taking him on the Naboo ship and leaving Coruscant or trying to leave Coruscant. So I think we'll get maybe one or two more flashbacks of just how he got him wherever he ultimately got him. Do you know what I mean? And then he probably dies, or maybe we could see him in the future. I mean, that would be fun too. It's not. I think that would be a cool thing, for sure. I could definitely see that happening. but I really liked him in the Mandalorian, coming back as the Jedi. So I can't remember the Jedi's name now off the top of my head, but it's probably in here. Uh, but yeah, so I really like that. Yeah, Kelleran Beck. That's right. I do remember that now. Kelleran Beck. Really cool name. Um, and that was actually, like they said, a character they just created and just kind of brought to him and said, "Hey, would you like to do this?" So that's really cool too.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, the story, like to bring someone back from the brink of something like that is absolutely amazing, and to give him the respect that he's due, not only as an actor but just a human being.
Sure.
I mean, is absolutely amazing. Um, I love him in
But
this
Filoni
character.
loves him. Filoni loves him. Like Filoni
There was
absolutely
nothing
loves
wrong
him.
with
Yeah.
him as Jar Jar Binks. He played the character they wanted him to play.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
You
There's
know
no
what I
doubt
mean?
about
So
that.
it's like I don't
Yeah.
understand what the hate was towards him. He
Well,
played
and
the
that's the
actor.
thing too, because like I remember hating Jar Jar Binks like as a character, but I didn't even know he played him until I found out about like years later. Like I didn't even know who the character, like who the actor was that played him. Like
Yeah,
I never looked that up. I didn't care about that. Like, oh, you should die because you played a character. I was like, no, I hate the character. The character's just stupid. Like, that's just how I looked
I
at it. But for
personally,
people to actually like look him up is insane.
I personally think Jar Jar Binks is an underrated character.
Okay, hey, and that's fair. Look, I've told you before, Darth Jar Jar is one of my favorite things. I want it to be real.
That's what
I
I'm
want
saying.
that to be
Jar
canon more
Jar
than
Jar
anything.
needs to be a fucking thing.
Oh, I
I
want it
want.
to be
That's how
canon.
I wanted him. That's how I would have loved him to come back. Like, oh, you
Yeah,
guys hated
no,
me.
that I
Guess
have no
what?
issue with.
Now I'm going to be a fucking problem for you guys.
Yeah, no, that problem with it's called the Darth Jar Jar theory. I think that's one of the funniest and best theory. I think it actually makes the most sense out
Without a
of any
doubt.
theory I've ever heard. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, I'm my best man. Welcome back to Star Wars. We are glad to have you back over here at Jedi Academy. So, and you are a Jedi, sir. That is one of the greatest
Dude,
things.
if Ahmad
So we
Best, if you
love that.
somehow see this, we would gladly
Come
have
talk
you
to
on.
us.
If you
Absolutely,
somehow
come
see this,
talk to
please
us,
come
man. We
on.
would love to talk to you. I know if you see this, man, definitely come on. We would love to talk to you. I would love to talk to you, man, for
Just got to
sure.
put that out there. You know, you never know. You never know.
Hey, absolutely. Reach us at um,
Jedi
Multiverse of
Master
Kingdom.
Talk and Padawan Freedom.
Jedi Master. Yeah. But guys, I think that's going to be the show. There's, like I said, just not really a lot to talk about right now, unfortunately. Um, so, but there were, like I said, there were a few things that we got to talk about, and I really think we hit them pretty hard. So,
But
um,
coming up soon, guys,
yeah.
I think Don and I have a few things coming out for the Jedi Academy that we're pretty stoked about. That's
Mm,
also some really nice news to give everyone. I think we're going to be talking about
yes.
some deeper dives in some lore and some backstory.
We are
Um,
going to fill Mr. Padawan over here with canon. We're going to
I am
fill him up
finally
with canon.
going to sit down and take some of my Jedi lessons
Yes.
and
It's gonna be fun.
read some scrolls, and they're going to enlighten me on some deeper lore that I have yet to find out on my own.
Absolutely.
Uh, and then what else we got?
Exactly.
Anything?
Exactly.
Anything else we got coming up besides that for Jedi?
Um, Not at the moment. Well, we will have some special guests on those episodes also, just so you guys do know. I
Oh,
can announce that. I can't say who yet, and I can't say exactly when, but we will. I do have some people confirmed and are interested to come on. So we will let you know more
oh,
about that later.
and we're going to also do a review on the what is it? Young Jedi Adventure.
Young Jedi Adventures. Yes, we have not finished that yet, but yeah, as soon as we finish that, we will do that. That will probably be next week. Next week's episode, honestly. So check that out. And obviously, guys, once Ahsoka gets here, we're gonna have 3-hour episodes every episode. So for Ahsoka, because I'm going to talk about it now, but we will be talking about that obviously when that
Oh,
comes out.
very
And as it
excited.
gets closer to it, we'll probably do a rewatch of Rebels, and maybe we'll do some of the essential Clone Wars Ahsoka episodes, just to kind of refresh from that too. So It's
Like,
interesting, some things we could do. So definitely keep an eye out here, guys. We are doing Jedi Academy still every week. I know we've been kind of off and on the last couple weeks, but we're back, guys, and we got this going. We're ready to go.
we're back and better than ever.
I'm representing Mortal Kombat over here. He's got the Falcon. It's stuff happening. Guys, until next time, I'm Jedi Master Tuck, Padawan Frito, Multiverse of Geekdom. May the Force be with you.
Like and subscribe. Do it.
Hit that button. Hit that
Do it
notification.
now.
Notification.
Hit the bell.